Hi everybody, welcome to Summer Farms, where we do a some of this and a some of that. I'm Heather and I'm here with a garden update so that hopefully you guys know this is why I haven't been posting anything. I've actually been really terrible at it, but I've been so busy, and like I said in previous videos, I've been so serious about growing as much food as I can. However, I seem to be running into some trouble just like everybody else. And some of the trouble I have already pinpointed. I know what was going on, and others I am not sure what's going on. I know I've listened to other YouTubers, and there's been issues about maybe airplanes spraying stuff, maybe, bad bags of soil, which unfortunately I've had to buy a lot of soil this year, and I think it's the stupidest thing ever to buy soil. But our soil here is very, very rocky, as I'll show you in a minute. And I'm not just talking about little rocks, I'm talking about big rocks. So I've had to, buy some soil. And this garden right here is one of the ones that I have purchased soil for. These are the cucumbers, and they are doing fabulous so far. I'm not jinxing it, and I actually have one little watermelon here on the end, sugar baby watermelon, that is also growing good. I have never been able to get any fruit from watermelon or any melons, so I'm hoping that I get something this year. Cucumbers, I usually always do a fabulous job, and I like this idea, and I apologize, I don't remember where I got the idea from, but growing them up in tomato cages. I put several in here so that they can grow vertically, and I really like this idea. They're doing really nice, like I said, in here. It looks a little bit crowded, but I mean, again, I've just been trying to jam plant everything in, everywhere that I can, as again you'll see soon. Our melons, I just planted in buckets alongside here, and this area hasn't even really been cleared out that well. I had a lot of problems with bugs. I've been spraying neem oil, and I know I have problems with slugs every year, so I've been using Sluggo. I also, again, don't know where I got the idea, but it was on Pinterest, I believe, for using these cinder blocks for gardening. And it's cheap, it's really easy. I threw like a tarp or even, the name is ground cover underneath it. And I have beans in here, which look to be doing pretty good. These climbing beans are even flowering. Unfortunately, even putting the ground cover, I still have this that's from the woods that keeps growing up in here that I have to go back in and clean out. I thought I got it all yesterday, but apparently not. And again, the ones that made it are doing okay. Not fabulous, but okay, compared to what they were. As you can see, or hopefully you can see, there's this white is not powdery mildew, it's diatomaceous earth. One of the things that I've been trying to do to keep the bugs away. As you can see, they ate some of the leaves there. So I've been doing that and neem oil, as I can't figure out what bug it is either. So these are doing okay, except for this corner over here. It seems to not be reaching the water as much, so I'm gonna have to come back here and water it more. So these are doing, really well. Now, keep in mind that these are the same cucumbers in here that are now also in here. Now look at this garden here. The cucumbers, I don't know what is going on. This is kind of I have not finished filling in here to grow more stuff around. But this is not doing as well. Now this is a garden that we kind of started for my husband's father, who you know, is suffering from cancer and really can't do stuff like he used to, even though he's stubborn enough to try. And so we did this for him because, again, I think everybody should be growing something. So I know he kind of really can't, so we're doing this for him. And I enjoy gardening anyway, so I don't mind. However, I'm really disappointed on how this is going. And yes, I know it needs to be weeded, but I mean, I have 2 littles and I'm doing this basically myself, and we have a lot. I've been pushing myself really hard this year. I am sunburnt and I have been eaten alive by mosquitoes, even though I put on lotion and I spray. You know, it just happens. So, I mean, look at these flowers. Look at the flower on that. It's beautiful, but yet the plant is doing poorly. Now, what I should be doing is I should soil test this, and I have not. But I mean, it's got plenty of fertilizer. So I'm not sure what's going on. I kind of think that this might be the effects of what's going on. And again, that's another reason why I can't get much done, because that is the alarm for my baby monitor, which I only get so much time out of before it starts beeping at me, telling me that the battery is going to die. So just quickly, here's some watermelon, more watermelon. Again, same seeds. I know my other problem this year is, you know, I had a lot of old seeds, which I've been replacing. I'm not even waiting till January, guys. I am getting seeds right now as I need them. I do plan on seed saving and everything, but again, backups for your backups. I'm ordering seeds and I'm ordering them now. Not even waiting till January. And I'm still going to try to seed save, which hopefully I can, and hopefully these do good. But like I said, now this Sugar Baby watermelon is the same as this one and the same as this one. So again, the only thing I can conclude here is the soil. Now this garden right here is doing absolutely disgusting. I have different ground covers down because I really can't keep up with the weeding, as you can see. I mean, even with this, I still have weeds in here. I really need to spend some time here weeding. But my brassicas did so bad this year. The bugs have really got to them. You can see the eggshells that I have down too for the snails. The slugs. As I've been finding slugs too, I've been feeding them to the ducks. And I just, you know, this is doing so bad. The other thing that I've been running into too is the chipmunks. I have killed so many chipmunks. They are not only getting into my feed, but they are also getting into my garden. And I planted seeds on the stuff that didn't grow. Over here in this area, I had summer squash, and I don't know why they didn't do well. They looked beautiful starting when I first put them in here, and then they just went bleh. Now, a little background story about this garden here is when my husband and I moved here, our old house, this was actually the first garden that we started. And when we moved, we put conditions, because we moved in the middle of winter, that as soon as the weather was warm enough, we were digging up the garden that we had over there and moving it here. Because, yeah, I'm that kind of crazy. I did not want to buy dirt and stuff all over again. So we literally scooped all this dirt up in a truck and whatever, and brought it here, dumped it down, and reset it all up. And last year, I was pregnant, and my son was born at the end of May. So I was going to be stubborn and do a garden anyways, and I did grow a few things, but I didn't do nearly what I did. So this actually had a year of rest. So what happened in that year of rest, I have no idea. I don't know if it's the chipmunks or the soil or whatever. And again, I do know that I need to sit here and do a soil test before I start jumping to all kinds of different other conclusions. But all right, let's move along. I did grow some horseradish here. I actually put horseradish. I have another one in actually two in buckets, and then I just randomly kind of planted horseradish all around because they sent me extra horseradish. I ordered from a company. They sent me the wrong thing. They sent me like peonies, and I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted. I didn't think they were going to give me the right horseradish like I had ordered, so I ordered from a different place, and then I got, the new horseradish roots from the new place, and then they actually sent me the horseradish that I had originally ordered from the other place. So I have a ton of horseradish, and I planted it basically everywhere. And over here I have some pumpkin. I'm trying to get it to climb up here a little bit. Again, this pumpkin was looking really beautiful until I put it in here, and now not so much. Even the flowers are starting to die. I actually have a beautiful picture of the flowers on one of these, and I don't know. I have successfully grown pumpkins and stuff before, but they never, come out nice and big and beautiful. So a lot of the stuff that I've grown, all my experience has been with very basic stuff. Like I said, the cucumbers, the beans, tomatoes. I've been another one. Very basic stuff that I've, grown for a long time. This is, one of the years that I am trying to grow a whole bunch of other different stuff. Another thing that I grow really well and have good success with, except for this year, is peppers. Look at these sad little peppers. Now, I know that when I first put them out, my other peppers that were doing nicely got burned by the sun, and I have never had that happen before. They were not sitting out all day or nothing like that, just a little bit, and bam, they were burnt. Again, just trying to plant stuff anywhere I possibly can. Here's a squash plant that I just randomly put here, just to see if it would grow. I mean, you can see, again, this is why I don't normally do it. The rocks are everywhere. Big ones, little ones, medium ones, all different sizes. Here in these buckets, I have the tomatoes, and the tomatoes, same thing. My tomatoes and pepper plants got burnt. So actually, a friend of mine had ones that she did not put out yet, and so she gave me some. So luckily, I have tomatoes this year. They were doing poorly, but now they're looking pretty good. I have some basil or basil, wherever you're from, growing in here. Back here I have eggplant that I'm hoping to seed save, which is why I have another eggplant that's a different name that is way up at the front by the road almost, so that hopefully I can seed save these ones this year. Here I have my Brussels sprouts, which aren't doing too bad. There's some bugs, but again, I just keep spraying with neem oil. Now this is my other garden that needs to be weeded, but the reason why I've neglected it is because it's been a complete fail. Those red that you see there are beets. They have been that same way. They haven't died, they haven't grown any either, so I don't know what's going on. Also, I wanted to show you, I have a bug house up here and another bee house here, mason bees, which I've been spraying pheromones and stuff to attract them. Again, I am doing everything I possibly can think of to get stuff going this year. The other thing I'm trying to focus on is growing more berries, and this is a berry that I got from Tractor Supply on sale. It was the only thing left that looked alive. I actually had to look this up because I've never heard of this berry before, but apparently they're really good for like fighting cancer and urinary tract infections and stuff like that. So I'm giving it a try, and I hope it works out. Here is another tomato plant that is like super tall. I have onions in this little grow bag. This is the other horseradish that I was talking to you about. Again, if you notice, I'm doing over buckets, grow bags. Like I said, this year I'm growing anything and everything and whatever I can find and whatever I can get. This is some burdock that I started in here. Now this is a hybrid pumpkin that looked beautiful, and then now all of a sudden there's this. I thought it was powdery mildew, but it's not. I'm not even sure what to do with this again because I've never been really good with pumpkins. So I have mint that is doing a lot better. Apparently they needed more water. That was my issue with that. I have here, let's see, they're starting to flower. This is calendula. I have another horseradish in here. I have potatoes that the bugs always get to them every year, no matter how much I spray to them, but I still get nice potatoes out of them. This big grow bag I got last year from the Dollar Tree, and it's working out pretty good, although I probably will only get 1 year out of it because I noticed it's very thin. So I have more different tomatoes and peppers. Like I said, the peppers are really sad. Some cilantro. Here I have horehound, which I put in a pot because I'm not sure where I wanted to put it. But hopefully I will be transplanting that somewhere else. I have more beans in here, and again, my peppers that look awful. I don't know what's going on with peppers this year. I have these peppers that actually started to get little peppers on them, but again, the plant itself looks terrible. Oh, this one a bug got to. Oh man. But I'm starting to get the hot peppers here. And again, there's another watermelon plant that's doing pretty good. My basil's doing pretty good. I got little tomatoes starting on here. Now this garden I was all excited about because this is supposed to be my medicinal garden, and I'm doing a terrible job at putting stuff in here. I am excited for this right here. It is the Sweet Wardrobe, which is supposed to be a nice substitute to vanilla should I never be able to get vanilla. Unfortunately, I only had this one little plant survive. I did the winter sowing with them, and I didn't plant them, get to them right away, and so they all died except for this one little plant. So this is just a butterfly bush just to attract more bees. Again, doing whatever. And this is an echinacea plant. I'm hopefully going to put some more echinacea in here. And back there I haven't weeded much because I'm not sure what's weed and what's valerian, because I've never grown valerian before. And then I'm trying to make a nice cute little pond here so it looks a little attractive, but again, so many projects, not enough time. Now these are just over in a pile of mess, but these are tomatillos, and I've never grown tomatillos like this. I mean, look at the stalk on that. These were supposed to be early jalapenos, and I just left them in here because they are obviously not early jalapenos. I don't know what they are. They just got this little flower on them, and then that's it. This one's not looking too bad, but again, I'm getting a nice little pepper on here. This one actually is probably ready to be picked. That's a nice beauty. And again, I didn't know where to put anything, so this is just kind of in our junk area. Alright, and this is my other eggplant way up here. Like I said, so that I could seed save. I just threw in a couple of other tomato plants. You can hear the road. This is way up by the road. And so here are our apple trees. Not all cleared out here or cleaned up because, again, we kind of inherited garbage on this property, unfortunately. And it's been a long process to try to get everything cleaned up. But we did put some apple trees in here. And this is the best looking one. I have chamomile growing on the bottom here. This is the one for my son that we planted after he was born, and the placenta is actually what is, I think, making this, grow so nicely. And I have pictures of that, so if you think birth is disgusting or placentas are disgusting or whatever, you can just skip over the next minute. And this is the other apple tree that is doing. I started to plant lavender under here. I bought this lavender and it was half dead already, and it pretty much has died, but hopefully it'll grow back next year. And again, I plan to plant more lavender around as soon as I finish putting dirt. This is our other apple tree that I thought died because there's no leaves on it. However, it is alive because way at the bottom here, I left these paper on them so I knew which apple is what. This is attached to it and it's growing just fine. So the tree is alive. Why this one doesn't have any leaves on it, I have no idea. The other ones look great. Alright, so aside from getting everything we possibly can into the garden, we have moved the animals around to one area that we had just cleared out. So we need to bring in fill, and there's still a lot more work to be done. We have to finish fencing it better. This is kind of just temporary stuff, but I like the all-natural look. These are our Turkis. Oh, we're going to show off. Are you showing off? Oh, we're stopped. Are you going to say hi? Say hi. Hi, Turkey. Hello, Turkey. Yep, they say hi. And then back is the chickens. Further back where you can see that white thing is the ducks. They're not in there yet because it needs to be finished. And then we have the dog area, which again is not finished. And in here we have the guineas who are staying in here for at least a good month before I let them free range. So hopefully, my hope is that they come back in here at night and they don't get all picked off by owls. So they're a little upset that they're, here and not out eating bugs and ticks and like they're supposed to. But they need to learn where home is. So hopefully, I know American Homestead did one video on them on being expendables, which I thought was great. And I was like, yeah, they totally are. Because you totally get them to do their job and they do get picked off, and you know this going into it. Here, I've had owls that have picked them off because they refuse to go in with the chickens at night, which is why they have their own little area. And I'm hoping they, go on here. They knocked over their one thing here, and then I have an old bed, one of those bunk bed things up there that they go up on too. So I'm hoping with it being high and everything that they'll come back here and they won't get picked off so easily. The other thing is they have fragile little legs, and especially in the winter, I seem to have issues with their legs in the winter. So again, my nice soft bedding and, you know, shelter. We'll cover this with plastic in the winter. Then my husband used an old metal roofing here, which I thought was pretty good. And I almost forgot the blueberries. Again, these are the same blueberry bushes, same age, everything. And this one has a ton of blueberries, whereas this one over here has these, one branch here has these tiny little couple blueberries, and that's pretty much it. So I'm puzzled, not sure what's going on. I did prune them this year, which I've never pruned them before, and I think that helped. But again, I don't know why this one has so little and this one is doing fabulous. In fact, it was so heavy with blueberries I had to tie it back. And there's one other branch coming off here. Look, this one is starting to turn, so that's awesome. And again, I need to weed, but these are again the same cucumbers, and these cucumbers look awful. And then in the middle here are beans, and then these are my roses that I'm going to use for medicinal purposes. They're starting to get a couple rose buds on here, but then this looks awfully dry. I did just purchase a new rose bush this year on impulse, and again, not from a good source, so it looks pretty unhealthy at the moment, so we're going to have to tend to that. Last but not least, way up right there is a pear tree that is doing pretty good. We had another pear tree over here and it died, so we have one pear tree left. So, but my in-laws have another pear tree fairly close by, so I'm hoping that that helps pollinate it. But I do need to get another one. So many places I have plants, I keep forgetting about all of them. This one I'm really excited about because I've had for a few years. It comes in with me during the winter. It is a dwarf lemon tree, and it finally is starting to grow some lemmings, which I think is so cool. And then it's peppermint down there. I have other dwarf trees. This is a kumquat that I just got this year. And this is an orange tree. And it's not doing as good, but hopefully it'll get better. I have more starters over here. I'm starting sunflowers too, because stupid chipmunks keep getting in there and eating my seeds right from the garden. Same with my garbanzo beans. So that I'm starting, and I did even my grains here in starter cups because, like I said, those stupid chipmunks, I have eradicated probably, like, I don't know, a good 20 of them, and they still keep coming. I hate to do that because they're so cute, but you know, what am I gonna do? They're eating my food. And these I just got the tromboncinos. I have never tried these before, but a YouTuber, Permapasture Farms, had mentioned it on one of his videos, and I'm like, oh, those might be interesting to try. So I have a couple starter just to grow a couple this year and see how they do. I also, this will have to be another plant that I bring indoors, but this is actually ginger. So soon that will go in a pot, and I'll bring it in for the winter and bring it out for the summer months. So, and then I have caraway here, and also on my balcony I have peppers, all kinds of hot peppers in here with basil, more on the ground because, again, I just didn't know where to put them. I noticed that oh, there's a ladybug, look, you see it, where is it? Right there. Hello, little ladybug, are you eating any aphids? I noticed that if they're up here, they don't seem to get eaten as bugs as much. Like, I really actually don't even spray anything up here because I haven't really had a problem. Now this is a bay tree that again comes in with me for the winter. I've had it for quite a few years and it's doing really good, but this year all the leaves are starting to turn funky colors. I don't know what's going on. I mean, occasionally I'll have a couple like this, but not anything as bad. So again, I don't know what's going on this year. I know I need to do some soil testing and figure stuff out. Other than that, I mean, there are so many theories that have been, passed by. I'm not too sure what I believe yet. I have to do some of my own more research and thinking to figure out what's going on, because I do want to solve these problems, because I still want to expand and grow more, and hopefully as the kids get older too, we can do even bigger ones. I'm already planning a bigger garden this year. Those cement blocks that you saw going around like the turkeys, we plan on doing that around all the animals, the fencing, and I plan on growing herbs on different things in there. So I really want to grow as much as I can. I'm only on 1.5 acres, and that includes the house and everything like that too. So the vertical, and just really trying to do as much as I can possible. We already have plans of where we're going to put some extra berries. Berries are really expensive in the store, so if we can start growing our own, that would be fabulous. We just went strawberry picking this year. It was the kids' first year going strawberry picking, and we had a really good time. So I really, it'd be nice to have strawberries growing here, and it's something that they'll grow back every year. So, all right. Well, hopefully that sums up why I have been so busy and not doing. I wish that I could post videos like other ones do, but I look at the other YouTubers and stuff, and the ones that have kids are mostly older kids, and I'm like, yeah, that's why. Again, it's 2 toddlers and myself, basically, that do almost everything. So my husband works pretty far away, so it's basically all on me to do everything. So I have been busting my butt and doing as much as I can. And one other thing that I want to quickly mention is, like I said, last year I kind of, if you will, took the year off because of having my son. And unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but I mean, he was born right at the beginning of, doing all this. So I just did not have the energy to do things like I normally do. I did do some as much as I could, but it was not nearly enough. So going back into it this year, and actually even doing more than I've ever done before, I'm exhausted. Like, I am so out of shape from doing this. So for anyone who hasn't started yet, y'all really need to start, because you need to get your body in shape and get used to doing all this, labor. It is hard work. It is very rewarding, but it is hard work. So, all right, y'all, that is it. I will see you next time. Thanks for coming by.